Hi everyone. So sometimes when we're using Excel, we have too much information or data to fit into one workbook. So to fix this problem, I'm going to show you how to link different Excel workbooks together by taking info or data from a source file and putting it into a destination file using an external reference formula. So that's all coming up in this tutorial. So to get started, I've got 4 workbooks open right now, and you can see them down here along the bottom. The best thing we're going to do is, instead of doing like a full page view of all of them, we have to look at them. To link them, we kind of have to arrange them and move through them easily. So we're going to check out which views would be best to do that. So the best way to do that is click on one of the workbooks and then go to Arrange All. And we can choose 4 options here. The tiled option divides all open workbooks evenly across the screen, which you're going to see. And the horizontal one divides the open workbooks into horizontal bands. The vertical one does vertical bands, and the cascade one does opens workbooks on the screen. If you've ever won solitaire on your computer, that's kind of like the end screen, the way it dances off the page, but that's the cascade. So I'll show you just a quick preview of each one. Arrange all, tiled, and now we have all 4. And then the horizontal ones, obviously that'll look, let's just take a live preview anyway. Horizontal. You see that one doesn't really work for us. Depending on how many workbooks you have open, maybe if you had 2, that would work well. Again, this would probably be better if you had 2, or maybe we're only working with 2 columns. I can't even get back to the view. Right, arrange all, and then cascade would look like this. Okay, so maybe you could pick which one to go through, and if you wanted to work on one at the same time, but have the reminder of the workbook names, maybe cascade would be the option for you. But I think for our purposes, we're going to use the tiled view. So we're going to make sure tiled makes things even, and it makes things easier to work with. So in these examples, these 3 workbooks right here in the L shape are our source files, and this is the destination file. So we want to put some of these totals on the grand total for all locations. Okay, so these workbooks are in different locations. This is in Flint, Jackson, Potosi, so different places, or different places. And then for all locations, they want the totals here. You might have noticed that the ribbon collapsed a little bit, and that's okay. That's kind of what we want to save some room here. If yours didn't, you could auto hide ribbon. Okay, so just click this here, or you could press Control F1 on the active workbook, and then do that for all of the active workbooks. So this right now, Urban Centers 2017, is the active workbook. I could bring that back if I want. Just go to Show Tabs and Commands, and maybe I'll bring that back later, but it collapsed already, so I don't need to do anything. Okay, so in B6, we'll type in our first formula, and just know that you can't, when we're doing these cell references, for this example, you can't type in equal sum, so we want to add the totals for each quarter from B6 in each of these, and we're just gonna have to add them manually. So if you're like me and you like clicking on it to get the formula, that's a good thing. If you're a typer, this is going to be a really long formula. So first of all, you need the workbook, the worksheet reference, and then also the cell range in absolute. And then absolute. So here we're going to get this one first. Okay, or actually we can start counterclockwise too. B6. So notice how easy that was when I clicked, and what it did was it pulled up the workbook, the worksheet it's from, and then the cell range, and it did an absolute cell reference, so that's great. And then we do plus, so we just manually add a plus sign, and then do for the next one the Flint totals. Just click on it. It's so much easier just to click. The workbook, worksheet, and then the cell that we're going to use, and then plus this one as well. So for the Jackson totals, the one we used in the last tutorial. And then don't have to do anything, you just press enter, and then you have the totals for each one. Okay, so if you want to see that again, so the first thing we do is Q2, and then we get the Q2 for each of these workbooks. So just click, and then manually put in the plus sign once the formula is there. Plus this one, plus this one, and then press enter. And then we'll do that for the top row again. So quarter 3. And again, if you're a typer, you might want to get out of the habit of typing this formula because it's just so much easier to click to complete this formula. Press enter. And then equal. We don't have to do this the whole time. We can just finish this last one. Just for practice, quarter 1. And then you just might want to verify that it's the right cell. So they should all be the right cell range. Be the same cell range. So E6, E6, E6. So I'm going to press enter on that last one. Did I add it? Yep. Okay. And just double check in the formula D6 3 times, C6 3 times, and B6 3 times. So we did that one by one, and that would take a really long time if we just try to fill that out manually. I'm going to show you you might have wondered why, would that just copy down to the next ones? Can I just copy and paste? And I'll show you what happens when you do that. It just copy and paste the same number. Why? Well, because of that absolute cell reference, so it won't let it go anywhere. So it's just going to copy and paste the same numbers. But as we know, we can take those off. So in this situation, we can actually get rid of that. So let's go back to the first one. No, B6. Okay. So I gotta remember, don't click inside the. Okay. So let's go back to that first one. So we filled out the. I'm going to delete these numbers, and let's say I just want to copy it across and then copy down. So I just want to do this once and save some time. So I've known that these ones are all in the cell reference B6, and they use an absolute reference formula to hold on to that number, but that doesn't allow us to copy and paste the formula anywhere else. So I'm going to change that to a regular cell reference. Okay, just because the formula puts it in automatically doesn't mean we have to actually use it in this example. Okay, so now I've taken away the absolute cell reference. Still the same number, so that worked. And then let's see if this works going to the right. And you have the same thing, C6, D6, and E6. So to save some time, if you have identical worksheets, you really don't need to use the absolute cell reference in that way. And then just verify that it's the right cell. So it should say, if we're in C11 on this sheet, it should say C11 3 times. And we've done it correctly. So that's just a way to save some time if you want when you've linked your worksheets and you're doing an external reference formula over and over again. Alright, so now we're just going to complete this off, just make sure we have the right numbers by, and this is one of those times I think I'm going to do the show tabs on this one. So I'm going to use the autosum button to get the numbers quickly here, and then just drag, copy and paste that total down, and do the same here as well. Just to get our totals, and if we've done them properly, these are the numbers we should have. And I can also do, I'm just going to make similar formatting changes now, with this being currency, and 1 decimal place. Oh no, 0 decimal places, sorry. And then this being comma style, which is right here, and then 0 decimal places as well. Alright, so then we have our totals right there. Okay, so now we're going to try updating the linked workbooks, and that's really easy to do if you've got the workbooks open like I do, right here. So we'll try updating, and then we're going to pretend that there was a mistake and we're going to fix it. So on the Jackson workbook, we can go to, we're going to change something in the medical center. So you see the total there, $13,613. We were $100 off, so this number is actually, instead of 5,025, it was actually 4,925. Sorry, 20. Okay, which drops the total by 100, and it drops it here, and it also dropped the totals everywhere else too. So in the medical center, it dropped 100, and then it also dropped this grand total, which you might have seen as well. So that was pretty easy to update because the workbook, the source file was open, and so was the destination file. So now we're going to update our workbooks when the destination file is closed, or so when we close all our workbooks here. So I'm going to close the ones that we don't need, and save them as they were, and close them. And I'll even close this, so I'll save it. Our summary page here for all locations, and then we're going to make a change to the I'm going to save this, and then we'll make a change to the Jackson file. Alright, so in this workbook we're going to go to the quarter 4 worksheet, and then in this worksheet we're going to change cell D11, so it's 1875. We're going to realize that's the mistake, so that it's 1925, and then press enter, and then these are updated, and so is the summary. Okay, so is the summary, so this changed, the retail and the totals as well, and this is the new total. Now the tricky part is updating the Urban Centers 2017 workbook. So we're going to go open that up, and you're going to see like a warning message, and it'll say update, like this, hopefully. Or yours might just say enable content, it just has a warning of that, and then when you press enable, that might work as well. But I just did the update button that came up, and that seemed to work for us. And we're going to click in E11, and then look at the file path now. So when you see the formulas now, the formulas inside of each of these external references are now linked to where this file is actually stored, so where the workbooks are stored now. Okay, so if you ever have to get back there, and we're going to save the workbook now. And then we can also close the links. So if you want to say, okay, we've got the numbers now, we just want these as numbers, we want to close the links, we've checked everything, we're good now. You can go to the data tab, and then we'll go to edit links, and this is also where you can check where the links were from, so what the workbook is actually linked to. And this is here we have the file name, or the workbook name, the type, and then A is does it automatically update, or do you have to manually update it? And then yeah, so that's it. And then you can also update values if it didn't work the first time, and then we can also edit links as well. But now we're going to convert all external reference formulas to their current values. So now this is where we can break the link. Breaking links, yeah. So it permanently gets rid of it, and we've checked over everything. We just want the summary. We don't want the links anymore. And then we say, yeah, break the links. And then it's not linked to any workbooks anymore. So it's just its own separate worksheet. And now what you'll notice is there's no formulas in these cells anymore, just the numbers that we need. And that's it for Module 6.2. I hope that was helpful in helping you learn how to navigate through external references from different workbooks, and I'll have a new video just like this soon. While you're waiting, you can check out some of these videos, and if you're new to my channel, I'd love to have you subscribe, so just click the button here, and thanks for watching.